The unapologetic truth. Mastering relationships through psychological power and Stoic wisdom. The world of relationships often feels like a complex and confusing game. But what if there was a way to understand the rules and play them to your advantage? Forget the sugar-coated advice and societal expectations. This is about the raw, unapologetic truth of how minds work, both hers and yours, and how you can take control in ways that are rarely discussed. Are you tired of feeling lost, confused, or powerless when dealing with women? Do you crave a relationship where you're not always chasing, but instead, she's the one captivated by you? Then it's time to ditch the useless tips and focus on what truly matters: psychological power. But this isn't about manipulation for the sake of it. It's about understanding the dynamics, mastering your own emotions, and creating a relationship where you feel in control, never powerless, and always calling the shots. Drawing inspiration from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, we'll explore how mastering your emotions, maintaining composure, and making strategic decisions can transform your relationships from a chaotic battlefield into a game you masterfully navigate. Decoding the emotional battlefield. The first step in mastering relationships is understanding that logic often takes a back seat to emotions, especially when it comes to women. While men often approach situations with a logical, rational mindset, women are wired to respond to emotions first. Have you ever tried to win an argument by laying out all the facts and reason, only to be met with continued resistance? This is because you're speaking a different language. Women operate on a plane fueled by feelings, instincts, and subtle emotional cues. Understanding this difference is not about disparaging one approach over the other. It's about recognizing the reality of how people interact and respond. It's about understanding the currency of emotions in the world of relationships. Furthermore, women often wield emotional tactics, sometimes subconsciously, to shift power dynamics in their favor. Acting upset, playing the guilt card, or feigning hurt are common strategies used to manipulate a situation and gain the upper hand. It's a subtle dance of emotional control, and if you're not aware of it, you may find yourself perpetually confused and feeling like the bad guy. But don't despair, because there's a way to flip the script and take charge. The key lies in understanding how to trigger her emotions first. Unpredictability is a potent force. Forget trying to reason your way through every situation, because emotions are the real battleground. Instead, learn to create emotional spikes that keep her guessing and invested. Give her attention and make her feel special, then pull back and act distant. This push-and-pull dynamic creates a sense of anticipation and keeps her emotionally hooked, always seeking your validation. When you're in control of the emotional flow, you're in control of the relationship. This doesn't mean becoming a master manipulator, but rather a skilled conductor of emotions, orchestrating a symphony of feelings that keep her captivated. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics understood that our emotions can be our greatest strength or our biggest weakness. They emphasize the importance of mastering your inner world, remaining calm and composed regardless of the external chaos. In the context of relationships, this means not getting swept away by the emotional storms around you. Recognize emotions for what they are, temporary waves that come and go. Choose how you respond, and don't let her emotional tactics throw you off course. This self-control is not about suppressing your feelings, but rather about understanding them and choosing how they manifest. By remaining calm, composed, and strategic, you can navigate the emotional complexities of relationships without losing yourself in the process. Like a Stoic sage, you become a beacon of stability in a sea of emotions, tapping into her deepest fears. Taking control doesn't stop at triggering positive emotions. It also involves understanding and subtly using her fears. This may sound harsh, but fear is a powerful motivator, and everyone, including women, has their vulnerabilities. These fears aren't just random insecurities. They're deep-seated anxieties that can significantly influence her behavior. Fear of being abandoned, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. These are real and powerful emotions that can be used to your advantage. By understanding and tapping into these fears, You gain a deeper understanding of her motivations and can better navigate the relationship. Consider the character of Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey. What makes Anastasia so obsessed with him? While his wealth and attractiveness certainly play a role, the true source of her captivation lies in his masterful manipulation of her fear of abandonment. He pulls her in with grand gestures and intense affection, only to suddenly become distant and unavailable. This constant uncertainty keeps her emotionally attached and desperately seeking his approval. It's an emotional roller coaster that she can't seem to escape. The takeaway is clear. If you want to stay in control, make her feel like losing you would be the worst thing that could happen. This doesn't mean threatening or intimidating her, but rather subtly creating a sense of scarcity. Make her feel like your attention is a privilege, not a right. Keep her guessing about your feelings and intentions. When she's afraid of losing you, she'll be more likely to invest in the relationship and prioritize your needs. However, it's crucial to approach this with responsibility and ethical consideration. The Stoic perspective offers a valuable framework for navigating this delicate territory. The Stoics understood that fear can be a tool for growth or a trap. While fear is a natural emotion, we don't have to let it control us. Instead, we can confront it with wisdom and reason. In the context of relationships, this means being aware of her fears without getting swept up in the emotional chaos. Stay centered, clear, and strategic, knowing that the emotional triggers you use are tools, not weapons. The Stoic principle of apatheia, freedom from emotional disturbance, is particularly relevant here. By mastering your own emotions, you can act with control, not out of fear or desperation. This creates a sense of security and strength that others can't ignore. You're not manipulating her out of malice, but rather using your understanding of human psychology to create a more balanced and fulfilling relationship. By applying Stoic principles, you can use the power of fear wisely and responsibly, creating a dynamic where both partners feel respected and valued. The art of the push-pull. One of the most effective methods for keeping her hooked is the push-pull technique. It's a simple concept with a powerful impact. You give her attention, make her feel special, and then you pull back, becoming distant or unavailable. This constant back and forth creates emotional tension that is highly addictive. She won't even realize it, but she'll keep coming back for more, desperate for your attention and validation. Women thrive on emotional ups and downs. Give her too much attention, and she becomes bored and complacent. Give her too little, and she feels neglected and unwanted. But when you master the art of balancing both, you create a psychological loop that she can't break out of. She'll spend all her time analyzing your every move, wondering what you're thinking and what you're going to do next. This emotional tension will keep her focused on you and prevent her from becoming emotionally detached. The push-pull technique isn't just a game, it's a strategy. It builds a perfect mix of unpredictability and excitement that keeps her emotionally attached. While she's busy trying to figure you out, she'll stop thinking about her own needs and start focusing on yours. This is the kind of control that keeps her coming back for more. She is stuck in a cycle where she is trying to figure things out. Consider the relationship between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Their on-again, off-again saga captivated the world. Why? Because it was a masterclass in the push-pull dynamic. Justin would shower Selena with affection and public displays of love, making her feel like the center of his universe. But then, he would suddenly pull back, getting involved with other women or simply leaving her unsure of where they stood. This emotional whiplash kept the relationship alive in the media and, more importantly, in Selena's mind. Even after they broke up, she struggled to move on, constantly wondering what if. To implement this technique in your own life, start with the push. Make her feel special, compliment her, take her out, and show her she's important to you. Give her your attention and make her feel like she's on top of the world. Then, when she's feeling great, pull back. Be distant. Take longer to reply to her texts or act busy. This sudden change will throw her off balance, and she'll start chasing that feeling again, wondering why you've pulled away. The key is to never let her feel too secure. As soon as she feels like she's got you all figured out, she'll lose interest. Women crave excitement and unpredictability, even if it's emotionally confusing. That's why the push-pull technique works. It creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows that keeps her hooked. However, it's essential to approach this technique with mindfulness and control. The Stoic perspective offers valuable guidance here. The Stoics understood that emotions, especially uncertainty and fear, can be powerful tools, but only if you remain in control of them. In relationships, when you understand the psychology of push-pull, you're not playing mind games out of malice, but rather engaging with awareness. The Stoic concept of apatheia, emotional freedom, allows you to remain calm, composed, and unaffected by the emotional chaos you're creating. This gives you a deeper sense of power. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca spoke about mastering your own desires and emotions to maintain inner peace. You're not letting her unpredictability or emotional tension dictate your mood. Instead, you're using the situation to remain steady and wise. This is how the Stoic approach to relationships differs from impulsive behavior. It's not about being cold or detached, but about understanding and controlling your emotional responses to navigate the highs and lows effectively. Don't be the guy who's always available and predictable. Be the one who keeps her guessing, always wondering what's next. This is how you keep her emotionally invested. Like a Stoic, stay calm, collected, and in control of your own emotions while she follows your lead, subtly shifting her confidence. Women aren't looking for someone who's easy to win over. They're looking for men who know how to challenge them just enough to keep them wanting more. This isn't about being rude or cruel, but about using smart, subtle moves that make her second-guess herself and keep her craving your approval. Women receive constant attention from men trying to win them over. But what happens when you don't just fall all over her, when you're not constantly chasing her? That's when she starts to question herself, and that's when you've got the power. It's not about being mean, it's about being smart and strategic. Take Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl as an example. He's not the nice guy type. He knows exactly how to manipulate Blair Waldorf's emotions, making her feel both wanted and unsure of herself. One moment, he's showering her with compliments, and the next, he's throwing in a little criticism. This dynamic works because it keeps women on their toes. When you subtly make her doubt herself, you get her to depend on you for validation. She'll start wondering what she can do to make you happy, and that's where you start to control the situation. It's all about creating a balance. You don't want her to become completely insecure, but you want her to look to you for approval. Here's how you can do it. Start with something nice, a genuine compliment that makes her feel good. Then, right after, follow it up with a small, subtle critique. For example, tell her she looks amazing, but maybe her outfit isn't the best choice for where you're going. This creates a back-and-forth tension within one conversation. She feels good, but then wonders if she's done something wrong, and that doubt makes her come back for your approval. Another effective trick is to show her interest and then pull away. Give her attention, make her feel special, and then suddenly act distant. She'll start wondering what she did wrong, and then she'll try to win your attention back. This creates a situation where she's constantly trying to prove herself to you, which keeps her emotionally invested. The Stoic perspective offers a valuable framework for understanding and applying this technique with wisdom and control. The Stoics, especially figures like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, were all about controlling their emotions and remaining unmoved by the outside world. The power to shift someone's confidence is less about manipulation and more about maintaining your own inner balance. The Stoic idea of apatheia, emotional freedom, teaches that true strength comes from remaining unaffected by emotional fluctuations. When you subtly push and pull her, you're actually controlling your own emotional response to the situation, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. Instead of constantly chasing approval or seeking to validate your own worth through her attention, the Stoic approach is about being grounded in your own self-sufficiency. When you give and then pull back, you're creating emotional dynamics, but you're not losing control over yourself. In fact, you're using wisdom to strategically engage her while maintaining your own emotional stability, which in turn draws her toward you, creating a situation where she's constantly seeking your validation while you remain unmoved and steady. By mastering the balance between challenge and approval, you can subtly shift her confidence, making her emotionally dependent on your validation, all while you stay in control, grounded, and emotionally steady, just like a Stoic would. Keep her on her toes, always wondering where she stands with you, but never let it throw you off balance. Your inner calm and self-control are your greatest strengths, and that's where the true power dynamic lies. Keep the rhythm steady, and she'll follow your lead. The allure of mystery. Women are drawn to men who are hard to figure out, who don't put all their cards on the table. Keeping her guessing about your thoughts, feelings, and next move creates a sense of intrigue. When she's unsure, she's hooked, and that curiosity keeps her coming back for more. The goal isn't to crush her spirit, but to create a dynamic where she values your opinion and seeks your validation. When you make her second-guess herself, you position yourself as the one she turns to for reassurance, giving you control in the relationship. This is where emotional availability can become a liability. Society often promotes the idea that men should be open, vulnerable, and share their feelings freely. However, the reality is that women don't always respect men who wear their hearts on their sleeves. They respect men who keep their emotions in check, who don't break down under pressure, and who maintain a sense of mystery. When you're too emotionally available, you become predictable and, frankly, boring. Women aren't attracted to guys who are always there, always sharing, and always open. They want the thrill of the unknown, the challenge of trying to figure you out. James Bond is a perfect example of a man who keeps his emotions controlled. He doesn't sit down and pour his heart out to anyone. He's emotionally tough, and that's what makes him irresistible. Women want to be the one who cracks his tough exterior and sees his vulnerable side. But if he opened up too easily, he'd lose that charm. Women are emotional beings, and they need someone strong to lean on. If you're always sharing your feelings and being vulnerable, you just become another emotional burden for her to carry. Instead, you need to be the rock, the one who can handle her emotions while keeping yours in check. This doesn't mean you should bottle everything up, but you have to be smart about when and how you share your feelings. Give her enough to know you're human, but never give everything away. Keep her guessing, and that emotional tension will keep her engaged. When you do share your emotions, make sure it's in a way that shows strength, not weakness. Share stories about challenges you've overcome, about times you've stayed strong when things got tough. This shows that you're a capable man who can handle whatever comes your way, including her emotions. That's what makes you truly irresistible. The Stoic perspective emphasizes the importance of emotional control and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius taught that a person's inner peace should not be disturbed by external events or people's reactions. The Stoics believe in the power of apatheia, a state of being unaffected by emotions, where the individual remains strong and centered despite external turmoil. In the context of relationships, this Stoic approach is crucial. By keeping your emotions in check and maintaining a sense of mystery, you emulate the Stoic virtue of self-control. You're not allowing your emotions to dictate your actions or give others the power to sway your behavior. This creates a balance of strength where she might seek validation, but you're not dependent on her approval to maintain your emotional equilibrium. This approach doesn't mean you suppress all emotion. It means you manage it wisely, revealing just enough to let her know you're human, but not so much that you lose your air of mystery and strength. Just like the Stoics, you don't need to be emotionally exposed to be strong. Your ability to stay grounded and composed, even in the face of her emotional turbulence, is what will make her respect you and ultimately keep her interested. The Stoic way isn't about avoiding emotions altogether. It's about maintaining mastery over them. Keeping her guessing and pulling away at strategic moments doesn't make you cold. It makes you strong, composed, and in control, just as the Stoics would advise. And that's exactly what women find irresistible. The Stoic path to relationship mastery. The unfiltered truth about taking control in relationships is this. It's not about being manipulative or mean. It's about understanding the dynamics and using them wisely. Relationships are a game of psychological power, and those who know how to play will always come out ahead. From a Stoic perspective, it's all about mastering your emotions and understanding the balance of power. The Stoics taught us that control over our inner world is key, whether it's in relationships, work, or life in general. It's about not being swayed by others' emotions or expectations and maintaining a calm, grounded presence. By keeping your emotions in check, you gain control over the situation, much like the Stoics did in their own lives, facing adversity with resilience and wisdom. In relationships, this means creating a dynamic where you are not emotionally dependent, but rather emotionally resilient and centered. This is how you build true strength and power, not by manipulating, but by staying in control of yourself and your actions. Key takeaways. Emotions over logic. Understand that women primarily respond to emotions, not logic. Learn to trigger her emotions first to gain control. Stoic control. Master your own emotions and avoid getting swept away by her emotional tactics. Stay calm, composed, and strategic. Understanding fears. Identify her deepest fears and subtly tap into them to create a sense of dependency and keep her emotionally hooked. The push-pull technique. Use this technique to create emotional tension and keep her guessing about your feelings and intentions. Shifting her confidence. Subtly challenge her confidence while providing validation to make her dependent on your approval. The power of mystery. Maintain an air of mystery by keeping your emotions in check and not revealing everything about yourself. These are the core concepts that empower you to navigate relationships with a newfound sense of control and awareness. This journey into the realm of psychological strategies, grounded in Stoic wisdom, offers a transformative approach to understanding the intricacies of relationships. By mastering the art of emotional influence, tapping into primal fears with ethical mindfulness, and maintaining an aura of mystery, you unlock a power that transcends manipulation. You cultivate a presence that is both captivating and empowering, enabling you to navigate the complexities of human connection with grace, wisdom, and unwavering self-control. And as you implement these strategies, you'll discover that the greatest reward lies not in the external validation of a captivated partner, but in the internal transformation of self-mastery. You'll learn to navigate the unpredictable currents of relationships with Stoic calm, transforming emotional turmoil into opportunities for growth and wisdom. The power you gain is not about controlling others, but about mastering yourself, a power that extends far beyond the realm of relationships, shaping your character and empowering you to live a life of purpose, resilience, and unwavering inner peace.